All right, guys, I'm about to get real vulnerable and raw with you. So I don't have my book with me, but I wanted to I guess let you know or tell you what started me on this journey of weight loss. So back in around August, I was already, feeling defeated. And of course, we were, 4 or 5 months into this new virus and pandemic. And so it was stressful, and it really didn't faze me much because I'm a homeschool mom. I stay home. But then all of the news started talking about, during the pandemic, people being home with their abusers, children having to be forced to stay home with sexual abusers, and adults, spouses having to be home with their domestic violence, physical abuse, and that's all that kept playing on the news, and you would see it on your social media feed all the time. So if you don't know a little bit of history about me and I guess what made me or who I am, or I don't know. Anyways, so I was a victim of sexual abuse from, I don't really know, because my whole childhood is like a black hole. I can't remember it. Probably by the grace of God is why I can't remember it. I only remember bits and pieces, and a lot of the things that I remember are the best parts about my childhood. So I think I was around 4 when it started, and whenever it finally stopped, I was about 15. And it was by several different men, like, in my life. So, like, it would happen, and then I think by the time I was about 9, I believe, I don't remember, I think I was 9, I finally realized that this is not right, and I told somebody, and then the process took course. And then it happened again with somebody else. Then it happened again and again. And these were all close family members in the family, the men that my family thought they could trust, men that I was supposed to be able to trust. Anyways, so there was that. And then I made some poor choices, and I got into an abusive marriage, and I became victim to domestic violence and physical abuse. So, as you can see, I've always been able to just shake it off and don't look back and keep going. I forgive my abusers. And it really hasn't played a major effect on my life. And I know that the main reason why is because of the grace of God. Because when I was 16, I was probably 15, 16, might have been really sooner. Like I said, I don't really remember time frames as good, because it all just kind of, it's like a black hole. I just don't remember. It's like a blank black hole. And so I think I was about 15 or 16. I remember my uncle sitting me down and talking to me, and I accepted the Lord into my heart. And ever since, I've always believed in Jesus. I was baptized. I've been baptized The first time I was baptized, I was just too young, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. So, but the second time I really knew what it meant. Anyways, so I became a believer, and I was really, I was like a youth leader, and I was overcoming so many things like shyness and like coming out of my shell, and all kinds of amazing things started happening for me. And it's the grace of God that I overcame it all. I've been delivered from victim mentality, and I don't ever really see myself as a victim. I don't have a victim mentality, and it's all because the Lord has delivered me from it, like from one season to the next. It's just been, I just seek Him, and I draw close to Him, especially in hard times, especially during those times. And it was probably it's been the best thing in my life, is have a relationship with the Lord. So all that to tell you this. Back in August, you saw all the social media posts, and then in September somewhere, this Cuties show came out, and then the NFL was basically honoring rapists on their jerseys. They were just like, yeah, this, they were just showcasing it. And sex trafficking rings, and domestic violence, and all this stuff. It was just like, I couldn't escape it. I could not escape it. And it was the first time since I ever felt like I had the victim's mentality, really, like I started getting anxiety. I guess it's more like PTSD. I don't know. But I started having flashbacks that I might have a flashback every few years, and it's triggered by something that I've watched, and or it's a scent, or it's a light touch, or it's a word. Words trigger me every once in a while, and it's just the tone of voice, and stuff like that would trigger me. But all of this stuff was just like so overwhelming, and I couldn't escape it. I just couldn't escape. So I text my closest friends, and I asked them, could you pray for me? I'm having anxiety. I'm going into depression. It was just a really dark feeling, like the enemy creeped in, and just amplified everything. And it was so bad that some of my abusers are still in prison, or the men who sexually abused me, but they're registered as sex offenders, so I can find out where they are. So I haven't ever done this before. I wasn't feeling safe, and I wasn't feeling secure. So one night I searched every single one of them to see where they were. Some are incarcerated still, and some are, far away, knowing that, they can't leave their city because it's against their probation or whatever, because they're still serving probation and stuff. And Anyway, so it helped me, but seeing their pictures made it, because there's pictures on the registration. So seeing their pictures made it worse, brought back memories that I hadn't seen or hadn't thought of in ages, since I was 15, maybe, I don't know. So I text my friends and I asked them to pray for me, and that I was going to start focusing on my health and absorbing my energy on something else. And I'm turning off, I canceled Netflix. I deactivated Facebook and Instagram for a little while. And I contacted my friend who was doing this program. And I said, I want to know more about it and I want to do it. Because I saw some of her posts talking about it's not just a diet, it's a mental, it's like a mental, there's like a mental part to it, and it helps with the mental part. And I had been talking to her back and forth for several weeks about it, and she was answering all my questions. And I was like, I really need to work on my mental right now, but I know that my physical and my health would benefit. So sign me up. Not knowing that it was going to impact my life as much as it has. And it's not the 40 pounds that I've lost that has impacted my life more. It is the fact that it has this thing called the Life Book. And you go through the Life Book not knowing what you're really doing. And it's like your own personal counselor, therapist. You go through the book and you read it one page at a time. And there's little answers and questions. And it's like a journal. You write in it and you write your thoughts. So, and it takes you about a year to go through this whole book. So in the next year, when I'm done with it, I will go back and look where I started and see where I am now. And I can already go back and look where I started and see my mental state was not very good. I was detaching myself from people. Like, I could not emotionally connect with people anymore, and I couldn't even fake it. Like, I was anxious and irritable, and I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't connect with anybody, and even my kids. I would try, but it was just so hard, and then I felt so guilty because I couldn't connect with them or anybody. Like, my sister-in-law had her wedding, and it irritated me. I didn't want to be around the people, and I couldn't be happy. It was a happy time, and it was joyous, and and you're supposed to be happy for the couple, and all the love in the air and stuff, and it irritated me so bad. I tried so hard to fake it, and I was supposed to be, in this wedding, bridesmaid, the one who's the most encouraging and supportive, and I tried my hardest. To do what I could to make her special day special, but deep down inside, I was falling apart. I can't even explain the emotions. I just felt so disconnected from everybody emotionally. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to see happiness. I didn't want to see, I was in a dark, dark place, and I knew I was. So anyways, I started this health journey that has changed my mind. I am thinking more positively, because I'm usually the one who always thinks about the positive in every situation. I've always done that. I've never really been a negative Nancy, and that's what I was, like negative all the time. And I was like, I didn't even, I felt, you feel horrible. You feel ugly, whenever you're negative. I would say something and I was like, that was so ugly. It was terrible feeling. So now I'm feeling more positive. I am happy. I have a better outlook on my life. I've been able to get past those flashbacks and the bad feelings and the anxiety and the antsiness, I guess, is the same. I don't know. It was my emotions were all over the place. I couldn't connect. I couldn't even figure out what was wrong with me. I remember telling my husband, like, I should be happy. Like, we just built this beautiful home. I have all this new, we're healthy. He's, an electrician, so he still worked. He didn't miss a beat with work. So we're blessed. And so our finances weren't in trouble. Our kids were healthy. Things were going for our kids, like great things were happening, but I couldn't be happy. I remember, like, whose birthday? Isaiah's birthday and Eddie's birthday and no, John's birthday were during all this. I think even Christian's birthday, because his is in February. I didn't even feel like celebrating it. And if you know me, because I'm a December baby and I'm like 3 days before Christmas, I'm big on birthdays. I like to celebrate people's special days. I like to make, especially my kids, I like to make their birthday the biggest day special. I like to make memories for them. And I didn't even feel like doing it. And I think even last Christmas, I didn't even feel like doing Christmas, if I remember correctly. It's just been blah. And it's not me. I like to, my love language is quality time. And I love making memories with people, spending quality time, sitting down, having coffee, talking, getting into deep conversations. I am not good at small talk. It gets awkward. I get awkward. I don't know how to small talk. I'm never, oh, the weather. Yeah, the weather, I'm just not good at it. So I like to sit down and get into deep conversations with people. I like to get into intimate conversations and talk about God and relationships and children and in an in-depth way. And that just wasn't me in September. I wasn't there. I couldn't do it. I tried and I couldn't do it. I was lost. The enemy just like creeped in and just took hold. And I didn't even realize it before it was already almost too late. So thankfully, by the grace of God, I recognized myself and I reached out and I thought I was signing up for a diet plan because I thought, well, if I feel better about my body, then maybe that'll help other things, which it did. The benefits are great. With losing weight, I feel great. I have more energy. I think I have more energy, not just because of the fat burn and losing weight and all that. I think I also have more energy because my mental state is better. I am not in a dark depression anymore, and I'm in a more happy, joyful place. And I give credit to God first for that, because you just seek him, you just cry out, and he meets you where you are. And then and that helps. Worship, getting in the word, and then the life book that comes with this program that I'm on. The life book helps you, like therapy helps you, like helps you think. Even the health assessment that we do gets you to think about just the questions they ask. And you're like, and then you get off the phone call and you're like, and it makes you think, it makes you ponder on it. It makes you go, okay, yeah, it's time. Like, I don't know. Dr. A created this and he knew what he was doing. Like, I think he might have done a degree in psychology or something at some point, because the questions he asks in the books or in the life book is like, expensive thing, like an expensive therapist, like what you would get out of a therapist, and you're doing it on your own from your home. So you work through some of your bad habits, and you learn better ways to figure it out, and so you're not continuing doing your diet plan, then stopping the diet plan, then gaining all the weight back. This is it's like a complete life transformation. Like, you continue to lose weight and then you keep it off. They have like a community of people. They have like Zoom calls and stuff like that. So you go on these calls and they have testimonials and stuff, people talking about their experience. And you see these people who have kept their weight off for years, 1 year, 2 years, 8 years, 7 years, 12 years. They've all kept it off. And and they all give credit to this life book, because this life book helps you. You're making a bad choice, or you lose your job. I'm an emotional eater. I eat all of my emotions, not just one, all of them. Happy, I like to eat. Sad, I like to eat. Depressed, I like to eat. All of them, just all of them, I'll eat. I mean, and my family's really big on celebrating with food. I mean, it's so bad. Like, oh, you got a divorce. Yay. Let's celebrate. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Let's go out to eat and celebrate your divorce. I don't, they're just being supportive is all. They're just letting you know that they're there for you, but let's celebrate with eating food. Anyways, so it's easy for like me and my family we do everything with food, and the life book helps you make better decisions. I want that juicy cheeseburger with fries and the large Coke, and then let's go have ice cream afterwards. It helps you. One of the things is stop, challenge, choose. So when you're looking at the menu and you're just lost your job and you're wanting to feed your emotions with greasy cheeseburgers and french fries, you stop, you challenge yourself, and then you choose a better choice. Instead of a juicy cheeseburger, you eat a margarita grilled chicken or something. It doesn't have to be a salad. You can eat fajitas, but without the tortilla. You just make, I just make like a plate of fajita meat and the vegetables, and it's good. It satisfies my Mexican craving at the moment, Anyways, so I hope I didn't bore you too much. That's some of my testimony. Told you I was going to get real vulnerable with you. And if my story resonates with you and helps you, that's all I want, is for you to hear my story and be encouraged. And if you've been through sexual abuse or spousal abuse or any kind of abuse, because my life has not been happy-go-lucky, jolly time. Like it's my life was surrounded by not me. I was born addicted to heroin, but I've never been addicted to drugs. I guess you can say I'm addicted to food or alcohol. I don't do any of those, and I never have. I dabbled with them in my teenage years, but I didn't like it. But my whole life, I watched just about every person in my life, I watched fight the battle of drug addiction and alcoholism. And I was a child of drug addicted parents. I was a child, so therefore I was raised by a lot of people in my family, because I bounced from one family to the next family to the next family to the next. Not that I was a problem child. It was mainly because I was a child with problems. I came with baggage. You know, my birth parents basically abandoned me when I was a child. My grandparents took me in. I was sexually molested as a child, and then nobody knew how to handle that. Nobody knew what to do. Everybody felt so bad and so sorry for me, and they didn't know how to handle that. And you know, I was too young to tell anybody. All I wanted was security and love and patience, and I just wanted to know that I was safe and that I can trust you, and that you weren't, with everything you had, that you were going to keep me away out of harm's way. And so nobody knew how to deal with that, and they had their own things that they were dealing with too at the time. And I just had all these problems, and maybe I wanted a little attention, but you know, I had all these problems. And so, you know, drug addiction, families of drug addiction, abuse, alcoholism, sexual abuse, domestic abuse, you name it. I have been through it. I've either watched it or experienced it personally my entire life. So if you need somebody to talk to, or you want some, I don't know, just a listening ear, or whatever, anything, I'm here. I've been through it, and if I can help in any way, I would. If just talking helps, I can talk. If you just need somebody to talk to, then I can talk to you, talk about it. So, if you want to hear more of my story, then maybe I'll share some more. But now I've wasted 30 minutes of your time. So if my story resonated with you, and just let me know. Tell me what you think. And I'd be so happy to hear from you guys and hear what you have to say. And just know that God loves you. I love you, and you're not a victim. You're an overcomer. All right. Peace.